to discuss about the respiratory system in human. In previous video, children, I discussed with you regarding the end product of the various types of respiration. Say for example, in aerobic respiration, the end products of respiration are carbon dioxide, water, and the energy. If the glucose oxidizes incompletely in an absence of oxygen, or sometimes in a lack of oxygen, then what happens? In absence of oxygen, that is, under the anaerobic condition, the end products of respiration are alcohol, carbon dioxide, and water. So for example, organism called yeast. In the beginning, yeast respires aerobically, but under the conditions such as lack of oxygen or in absence of oxygen, yeast respires anaerobically to produce ethanol. And this process where the glucose oxidizes incompletely to produce alcohol is known as fermentation. Is known as fermentation, right? And hence this process can be used in the beverage industries to produce alcohol. In case of our muscle cell, basically children, our muscle cell respires aerobically. But sometime when we do a vigorous exercise, when there is a lack of oxygen in our muscle cell, instead of respiring aerobically, our muscle cell respires anaerobically to produce end products such as lactic acid and energy. CO2 is not produced in this reaction, right? And hence children, this lactic acid accumulates in our muscle cell. It accumulates in our muscle cell to produce muscle cramps. If we take a warm water bath or a steam bath, right, then our blood circulation increases, oxygen supply increases, and this lactic acid then later on get converted into carbon dioxide and water. And ultimately, we get rid of the pain caused by the muscle cramp. In today's lecture, children, let's talk about the respiration in human. So before discussing the respiratory system in detail, I would like to discuss with you the basic difference between the process called breathing and the respiration, children. Breathing and respiration. So children, the process called breathing is a physiomechanical process. Children, why it is called physiomechanical process? Because in this process, the parts of the respiratory system are involved. The parts of respiratory system are involved, such as your thoracic cage, okay, which is made up of the 11 pairs of the ribs. See this bony structure. These bony curved structures are known as ribs, okay, and this is called sternum. This part, this bony plate, okay, in between this bony plate is there. This is called sternum, right children? So to this chest bone called sternum, the 11 pairs of the ribs are attached, which form a cage-like structure called thoracic cage. In between, the thin and delicate and beautiful lungs are located, children. Below these lungs, there is a part, curve shaped part called diaphragm is located, which is cartilaginous. Children, this diaphragm separates respiratory system from digestive system. Okay, this is a partition made up of cartilage that separates respiratory system from the digestive system. And this diaphragm also a part of respiratory system because ultimately the movement of the diaphragm helps in a breathing. So overall, what I would like to explain here, breathing is a physiomechanical process where the various organs of our body get involved. But children, the process called respiration, especially we use the word cellular respiration because respiration takes place in the cell only. See, what we think now that we inhale and exhale out the air, that is not respiration. That is called breathing. That is called breathing. So what respiration is actually? So children, respiration takes place in the cell where the glucose, where the glucose undergoes cellular combustion. Combustion का क्या मतलब होता है? Reaction with oxygen. So glucose in our cell undergoes cellular combustion, that is cellular oxidation, to produce CO2, water, and lots of energy, that is ATP, 38 ATPs, right? This process is called respiration, children. This is called respiration. So breathing is a physiomechanical process while respiration is cellular process. It is a cellular process. Okay. See, in order to inhale and exhale the air, our body consumes ATPs. Our body consumes ATP. In contrast, in the process of respiration, that is cellular respiration, ATPs are produced. ATPs are produced. See, breathing में क्या होता है कि as our various organs of the respiratory system, as they perform the movement, so that movement requires lots of energy. So वहाँ पे energy utilize होती है in process. Utilize होते हैं ATPs. But respiration जो है that produces ATP. वो ATP produce करता है. Okay. Next difference, children. See, enzymes are not involved in the breathing process. Enzymes जो होते हैं, that is biocatalyst. So these enzymes are not involved in the breathing. Rather, the diaphragm, the lungs, and the ribs and other parts of the respiratory systems are involved. But children, in a cellular respiration, various enzymes are involved to carry out the reaction. Okay, so in this way, children, the breathing process differ from the respiration. So first of all, you keep it in your mind that respiration doesn't mean inhalation and exhalation. That is called breathing process, right? So let's talk about the breathing first, then we will go for the respiratory system. So children, here are the various parts of the respiratory system shown in these two diagrams. So the first process itself explains an inhalation, while the B part itself explains and exhalation, children. So what is an inhalation? Inhalation is also known as breathing in, is also known as breathing in or breathe in. Breathe in का मतलब क्या होता है? In that process, we suck the air inside our lungs. Now children, are we doing it intentionally or it happens automatically? Yes, it happens automatically because this is an involuntary action of our body. Involuntary. See, uh, the two parts in our body, that is called lungs and the heart. Children, you know these two organs are really, really beautiful, and they are absolutely to their work. Okay, they never stops. If the involuntary actions of the lungs and of the heart, if accidentally stops, you know what will be the result. Okay, its ultimate result is death. So these organs continuously works throughout the life, and there is no fatigue in these organs, means they never stops, their functioning never stops. So children, these functions happens involuntary, automatically, without our will it happens. So children, what exactly happens in an inhalation, that you have to remember. The first thing is, during an inhalation, the diaphragm muscle contracts. Listen carefully. The sentences are very, very important. The muscles of the diaphragm contracts. And as the muscle contracts, the diaphragm moves downward. The diaphragm moves downward. See, the arrow is given. Diaphragm moves downward. At the same time, the muscles of the ribs also contracts, and hence the ribs moves outward and upward. See the arrows. Ribs moves upward and outward. So यहाँ देखो, अगर ribs outward and upward move हो रहे और diaphragm अगर downward direction में move हो रहा है, so that create a lot of area inside the lungs. Okay, अगर diaphragm downside move होगा और अगर ribs upward direction में move होंगे, so that creates more volume inside the lungs and less air pressure. क्योंकि ये चीजें जब नीचे चली जाएंगी, तो यहाँ पर inside the lungs लो प्रेशर एरिया क्रिएट होगा. लो प्रेशर एरिया क्रिएट होगा, and due to which the air get automatically sucked inside our lungs by our nostrils. ये हम knowingly नहीं करते हैं. It happens involuntary. Okay, so once the diaphragm moves downwards and the rib moves upward and outward, that creates low pressure area inside our lungs, and hence air get automatically sucked in inside our lungs, and this is called breathing. This is called an inhalation. In the next cycle, children, what happens? The muscles of the diaphragm get relaxed. The muscles of the diaphragm get relaxes, so the diaphragm moves upward. Diaphragm moves upward, it goes back to its original position, and the ribs moves downward and inward. Rib moves downward and inward. So this movement press the lungs slightly, and hence the air get expelled out from our nostril. Air automatically get pushed out through our nostrils, and this process is called an exhalation. That is breathing out. That is breathing out. So दो चीजें याद रखनी है, movement of diaphragm and movement of ribs. In inhalation, both moves in outward direction. In exhalation, both moves in inward direction. So the lungs expel out air from our nostrils, and this complete cycle is called breathing. One inhalation and one exhalation is known as one breath. Is known as one breath. And you know children, in 1 minute, how many times human adult breathes? Breathes about 18 to 20 times per minute. 1 मिनट में हम जब relax है, when we are in a relaxed position, not when we are running, right? When we are in a relaxed position, when we are just simply sitting, at that time we breathe in and out 18 to 20 times per minute. This is a normal breathing rate in human adult. छोटे बच्चों का इससे ज्यादा होता है. Right? Now, let's come to the human respiratory system. Okay, children. So you can see the screen. This is your NCERT diagram of human respiratory system. So at the first, children, we will discuss about what are the different parts of the human respiratory system. So it starts from the two openings of our nose called nostrils. See, nostrils are not labeled here. See, these openings of our nose are known as nostrils. Okay, so we have pair of nostril through which we inhale the air. Then the air passage passes through the nasal passage. See what this is called nasal passage. Okay, which is also called as nasal cavity. इसको और क्या बोलते हैं? Nasal cavity. Okay. Now you know, children, inside our nose there are presence of a thin and delicate hairs inside. Right? What is the purpose of having hairs in our nose? This acts as a filters in order to trap the unwanted particles that are entering in our nose. So for example, dust particles, bacteria, then some pollen grains, pollutants. Okay, so these particles get trapped in our nasal passage, in our nose, due to the presence of this thin hairs inside. So air get partially filtered when the air enters in our nasal passage, right? Another thing is, children, start from our nasal passage till our lungs, our respiratory system from inside is a sticky. Okay, it is a sticky from inside. You know why? Due to continuous secretion of the sticky substance called mucus. In 9th standard, children, we discussed that the inner walls of our respiratory system have ciliated columnar epithelium. Ciliated columnar epithelium, like this. Columnar epithelium with the cilia, right? And this cilia continuously push the mucus in the forward direction, right? So our respiratory system is a full of the mucus, the thin layer of the sticky substance inside. You know, children, what is the purpose of having such a sticky substance in our respiratory system? Because in case if the bacteria, viruses, or some fungal spores get enters in our respiratory system, get trapped into the mucus, and hence the entry of such a disease causing microorganisms cannot happens with the thin walls of the respiratory system, because this bacteria get trapped into the mucus, and later on they cannot penetrate the inner walls of our respiratory system, and there will be no chances of having infection. But if the manifestation of the microorganism is more, then sometime we may suffer from the respiratory diseases, right? Okay. So after the nasal passage, there is a pharynx. Okay, you know, children, what is pharynx? Pharynx is a common opening for nasal cavity and buccal cavity. देखो मैं साइड में क्या ड्रॉ कर रही हूँ. This is the nasal cavity, children. See, this is the nasal cavity जहाँ से air enter हो रहा है, right? And this is the buccal cavity जहाँ से हम लोग फूड अंदर लेते हैं. सो इन दोनों के लिए एक जगह पर कॉमन पैसेज क्रिएट होता है. कॉमन पैसेज where the nasal cavity and buccal cavity meets. That part is called pharynx. Okay. Now pharynx opens into the larynx. Children, what is larynx? It's nothing but your voice box. larynx को और क्या बोलते हैं? Voice box. And in 8th standard, you have learned in detail the structure about the voice box. Okay, it have vocal cords and all everything. So this larynx then opens into the tube-like structure. This larynx then opens into the tube-like structure called windpipe, which further have a two branches called bronchi. Called bronchi. Okay. So see, children, this windpipe is also known as trachea. Windpipe को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Trachea. See this. Now, children, this trachea, you know, it is surrounded by a C-shaped ring cartilages. Trachea is surrounded by C-shaped ring cartilages. You know why, children? Because the walls of trachea should not get collapse during the exhalation. जब हमारे lungs air को बाहर फेंकते हैं, तो ये exhalation के process में ये जो ट्रकिया के जो walls है ये एक दूसरे से collapse नहीं होने चाहिए, ठीक है? इसीलिए इनको बाहर से किसने पकड़ के रखा है? Muscles attached to C-shape ring cartilage. ऐसे C-shape ring cartilage और ट्रकिया और इनके बीच में क्या है? Muscles. तो ये मसल्स ये कार्टिलेजेस से कनेक्टेड है, तो ट्रकिया के वॉल को पकड़ के रखते हैं. सो द वॉल्स नॉट गेट कोलैप्स ड्यूरिंग द एक्सहेलेशन प्रोसेस. दैट इज द रीजन our windpipe or trachea is surrounded by C-shaped ring cartilage. So you can see these lines here, children. See these lines. See 1, 2, 3, 4. See these lines over the trachea. These lines are nothing but the ring cartilage. Okay, chalo aage. Now this windpipe, this trachea further divides into two branches, each for one lung. Now see this, these are the structures called trachea. See this one trachea, bronchi. Okay, so this is one bronchi and this is another bronchi. See, this part of the lungs shows the structure of the lungs along with the ribs. And this is an internal structure of the lungs, that what is located inside the lungs. So student, what happens? This trachea divides into the branch called bronchi. This bronchi further divides into a thin tubes. It divides into many branches, this thin fine tubes. They are called bronchioles. These tubes are called bronchioles. And at the end of the bronchiole, there is a presence of the sac-like structure, balloon-like structure known as alveoli. See this grapes-like structure. See these dots, children. See these dots. See this. Okay, this grape-like structure. Okay, what they are? They are nothing but these structures called an alveoli. This alveoli. So here is the highly magnified diagram of the alveoli. क्या होते हैं ये alveoli? These are the sac-like structure having the single cell thin wall. ये जो alveoli है ना, इनके cells कैसे होते हैं? Single cell thin. They have a single cell thin wall. Very thin and very delicate wall. Right? And they have the network of blood capillaries over them. उनके ऊपर क्या होता है? Network of blood capillaries. So exchange of gases takes place here. See, exchange of gases takes place here at this stage. Because this whole alveoli have the network of blood capillaries over it. Let's say, for example, see this structure which I'm drawing. This is an alveoli, okay, and which have the network of blood capillaries over them. So children, if we look at this zoom structure of the connection between the alveoli and the blood vessel, so see at the right side of the screen, say for example, this is the wall of the alveoli, which is directly connected with the walls of blood capillaries. So what happens? Exchange of gases takes place. Like from alveoli, oxygen enters into the blood, and from blood, carbon dioxide enters into the alveoli. So exchange of gases takes place here in the alveoli, right? And then as we inhale the air, it goes inside the lungs through this way. Exchange of gases takes place, and then again we release the air from our nostrils. So where the exchange of gases takes place? Here, at the place of alveoli. Okay, children? And when we breathe in and when we breathe out, some amount of air remains inside our lungs as a residual air, as a residual volume of air. इसका क्या मतलब है बच्चों, पता है आपको? समझो, हमने x वॉल्यूम ऑफ एयर ब्रीद इन किया है, x वॉल्यूम ऑफ एयर हमने अंदर लिया है. सो x वॉल्यूम ऑफ एयर ही हम ब्रीद आउट करते हैं क्या? नो. उसमें से कुछ अमाउंट ऑफ एयर जो है ना, इन एवरी ब्रीदिंग साइकिल हमारे लंग्स में छूट जाता है. जैसे कि हमने x अमाउंट ऑफ एयर ब्रीद इन किया, तो इसमें से x माइनस समथिंग एयर जो है हमारे लंग्स में छूट जाएगा. पूरा का पूरा x अमाउंट ऑफ एयर हम बाहर नहीं छोड़ते. सम अमाउंट ऑफ एयर remains inside our lungs as a residual volume of air because of two reasons. One is, see children, diffusion is a very slow process. It takes lots of time for gases to be get exchanged in between the walls of alveoli and the walls of blood capillaries. So this process is very slow. So children, in order to provide sufficient time for the exchange of respiratory gases, some amount of air remains inside our lungs as a residual volume. And the second thing is, the inner structure of the lungs should not get collapse. अगर पूरा का पूरा एयर हम बाहर छोड़ देंगे तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? यहाँ पे एम्प्टी स्पेस क्रिएट होगा, जिससे हो सकता है कि लंग्स के जो इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर है वो एक दूसरे के साथ कोलैप्स हो जाए. तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड सेकेंड थिंग, in order to provide sufficient time for the exchange of respiratory gases. किसमें होता है exchange? In between alveoli and in between the blood capillaries. To provide sufficient time for the respiratory gases to be get exchanged, some amount of air remain inside our lungs as a residual volume of air. As a residual volume of air. So these few things you have to keep in your mind. Yes, children. So this is about the respiratory system in human, how it works, how inhalation and exhalation takes place, and what is the role of various parts of the respiratory system. All right, children. Now you have to remember one more thing, children, here, that is the respiratory pigment in our body is hemoglobin. हीमोग्लोबिन जो होता है हमारे बॉडी में, हमारे आरबीसीज के अंदर, इस हीमोग्लोबिन को हम क्या बोलते हैं? रेस्पिरेटरी पिगमेंट. देखो, पिगमेंट का मतलब क्या होता है? कोई तो भी कलर वाली चीज. पिगमेंट का मतलब क्या होता है? कोई तो भी कलर वाली चीज. तो फोटोसिंथेटिक पिगमेंट मतलब क्या? जो प्लांट में होता है, that is called chlorophyll, है ना? क्लोरोफिल इज द फोटोसिंथेटिक पिगमेंट. वैसे हमारे बॉडी में जो हीमोग्लोबिन है, दैट इज कॉल्ड रेस्पिरेटरी पिगमेंट. और एक चीज बच्चों, ये जो हमारे बॉडी की alveoli है ना, दिस balloon like structure, this structure, you know children, if we open all our alveoli, if we cut it like this, and if we try to arrange in a form of sheet all this alveoli, you know, this all alveoli, if we open and if we arrange in the sheet form, it occupies 80 meters square of the area. कितना एरिया ऑक्युपाई करता है हमारे अल्वियोलाई? 80 मीटर स्क्वायर। सो इतना बड़ा एरिया हमारे लंग्स में कैसे अकोमोडेटेड है? इट इज ड्यू टू द स्पेरिकल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द अल्वियोलाई। तो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं आपको, हाउ ह्यूमन लंग्स आर डिजाइन टू इंक्रीज more surface area for respiratory gases to be get exchanged with a high efficiency. So this is due to the spherical structure of the alveoli. Second thing, the thin walls of the alveoli. Alveoli have very thin walls. So exchange of gases becomes very easier. And it also have the rich blood supply. It also have rich blood supply, which facilitate the fast exchange of the gases, right? So in this way the human lungs are designed. Okay, thin wall, rich blood supply, and large surface area, right? And children, apart from this, you also have to remember that how lower animal respire. So if we talk about the fishes, how they respire with the help of gills. If we talk about an earthworm, how earthworm respire? By moist skin. By moist skin. How an insects respire, children? Insects respire with the tiny opening present on their skin called spiracle. Called spiracles. Okay, and rest of the higher animal respires by using the lungs. And how plant respire? The roots of the plant respires by diffusion. By diffusion, the green stem and the leaves respire with the help of tiny openings called stomata. And the woody stem, which is not green, woody stem respire by using the tiny opening called lenticels, children. Lenticels. Okay, lenticels. In this way, all the parts of the plant respires. Root, green stem, woody stem, as well as leaves. Okay, so this is about the respiratory system in human and the respirations in some lower animals and in plant. Now children, if you have any doubt with respect to today's topic, you can ask me.